4 a.m. The alarm goes off. There's been very little sleep last night, about 3 hours probably, and there's no David Goggins screaming at me. There's no motivational music playing in the background. It's just me and the darkness of my mind. The very last thing I want to do is get myself out of bed and drag myself to the gym, because truly, insomnia robs you of so much energy, so much drive. But I set a promise to myself. I told myself that I was going to film all of my training sessions this week so that I could share it with you and hopefully provide you a lot of value. And so here I am warming up for the first upper body session of the week. And I'm just here doing a little bit of shoulder mobility with the band, because I'm about to go do some weighted dips, which if you jump in without warming up your shoulders, you might have a very bad time. So it's time for the first warm-up set, which is just on the assisted dip machine. And the weight is very light, similar to just benching the empty bar. So I crank out just a quick little set of 10 and then drop the weight and do a quick little set of 8. Now it's time to start the bodyweight warm-ups. And to be honest with you, I'm very glad I filmed this, because I'm not happy with the depth. Obviously, I am going to parallel, which is acceptable, but to be honest with you, I don't train to be acceptable, I train to be exceptional. Which means that based on this footage, I am going to make some changes. I'm going to stop doing dips like this. I'm going to strip the weight back, go deeper, and add a pause at the bottom, simply because my main goal is to get jacked. And even though I do like lifting some heavy weights, I want to lift it with cleaner form. So this is my first working set of the day with 37.5 kilos, and I get it for 4 not very clean reps, which I'm not that happy with. Obviously, lack of sleep is gonna diminish my strength, but that's not an excuse to use sloppy form. And so here's my second working set of 37.5 kilos for 4 reps. And I do want to strip the weight back and build it back up to this when I can go deeper and add a pause. And even if that takes some time, that'll be okay, because my main goal is to get jacked. And so my second exercise of the day is going to be the weighted pull-up, because it complements the weighted dip beautifully. So my first couple of warm-up sets are just with body weight and then with 15 added kilos. And to be honest with you, yet again, for my first working set, the form isn't the cleanest. It's with 30 kilos, and I am doing a bit of like momentuming at the top, and I'm totally okay with that, because the whole point of this first day, the first couple of exercises, is for just a bit of strength, just a bit of fun, horsing some heavy loads. But because I only got 4 grindy reps of 30 kilos, I stripped the weight back to 25 kilos, which unfortunately I'm only able to get 4 reps of yet again. And to be honest with you, I could have got more, but I felt the lack of sleep bleeding my strength away. Next, we have my first giant set of the day, and I absolutely love training in giant sets because it saves a lot of time and it keeps the momentum going. The first exercise of the giant set is the incline dumbbell press, and as you can see, I'm going very deep because I'm keeping a neutral grip. Thus, my dumbbells never touch my chest, and I'm able to actually get a full stretch at the bottom, which feels absolutely nuts. And so obviously I'm not going to be able to lift this heavy weight, but that's okay with me. So here I have 35 kilos, which I got for quite a grindy set of 7. I try to push an 8th rep and it just isn't coming up. And this was actually my second set of the day, because to be honest with you, I wanted to film in better lighting so I could have a little flex off at the end of my set. The first set of this I did get for 8 reps, so I'm fairly happy with that. And obviously this is a giant set and it's an incline setup. So all I have to do is just slightly raise the bench and I can start doing curls straight away without any rest. And incline dumbbell curls are a very naughty exercise because it gets a very mean stretch at the bottom. However, the strength curve can get a bit funky, so I wouldn't put the bench too far back. I think this angle is quite nice. And here we have it. Tried to get 8 reps, only managed 7, I believe. Maybe even 6. I didn't even count that one, to be fair. And here I am just doing a bit of flexing, getting myself quite hyped because having insomnia is not an excuse to be a low T beta cuck. And then I finish up my giant set with some rear delt flies, which I desperately need because after objectively observing my physique, my rear delts have become a lagging part yet again because I've been prioritizing lateral raises. And so here I am chiseling away that little back of the shoulder that so many people skip, but it's a very important part for that bulbous, round 3D shoulder. So I go for 2 sets of each exercise, but in this giant set, I only filmed 1 because I didn't want this video to get too long, too repetitive, even though I can sit here and waffle on about anything. I want to keep it more concise. And just so you know, the reason I love doing giant sets is because, like I say, it saves a lot of time and it keeps the momentum of the workout going. Rather than, resting 2-3 minutes between your sets, potentially going on your phone, disrupting your focus, you can just move on to the next exercise without any breaks. And then by the time the giant set is over, you've probably recovered enough to very quickly go with the first exercise again, if your work capacity is where it should be. And so the next giant set of the day and the final one is going to be starting with some chest supported dumbbell rows. And I absolutely love this exercise. I haven't done it in a while and I'm going to add it back into my routine because the stretch you get is absolutely nasty, and you can obviously go with some heavy weight to really overload the upper back. This weight isn't that heavy. I've gone a lot heavier on this exercise, but I wanted to pull it just a little bit higher today because even though the stretch is the most important part for the upper back especially, I just wanted to get slightly cleaner form today. Next exercise of the giant set is going to be your classic tricep push down. And I just got a little nugget of wisdom that I should have shared with you earlier, which is that when things are far from optimal, for example, when you've had really bad sleep the night before, it's always a good idea to come in and lighten the weight so that you can focus more on, getting a really good mind-muscle connection, still lifting with intensity, but a lot more controlled intensity with better technique, which I obviously didn't do for the first 2 exercises, but hey, I tried to make a comeback and, it worked. And as you can see, the set of clean reps on this exercise is over, so I use a little bit of momentum and really just allow myself to crank out some extra reps where I focus only on the lowering, the eccentric, if you will, which allows me to pulverize my triceps, because why not? It's a very safe exercise and you can do it. Don't be a little puss. And so I finish off the giant set with the dumbbell pullover. If you know, you know why this exercise is so goated. Not just because it tears your lats apart, but it also works your upper chest, your triceps, and it does something entirely unique, which is stretching the rib cage. Not your flipping bones of the rib cage, but the intercostal muscles that sit between the ribs, and when developed, give you that crazy cobra V-taper. So I did one more round of the giant set, and then it was time to do some flexing in the mirror. And I'm fairly happy with how I look, because even though I'm losing my abs, I'm not getting as ripped, as defined, the bulk is going well. So all in all, I'm very excited about how bulbous I'm gonna get over the coming year. And with that being said, the session is over. I'll see you tomorrow.